Things getting interesting in the A division as we take a look at the top two teams of the division. It is the Evil Empire up against the Lock Monsters. Welcome to the RSHL, Daniel Wilson here. Well, interesting news just as we are coming on out of the Evil Empire camp. Their top shooter, Ryan Reich, currently out with a facial injury. So they are hoping to try to get that fixed. And whether he's going to play today is going to be a game time decision. We don't know the extent of the injury, but this will be a huge blow to their offense, which has really been a big contributor this season to their success. They currently hold first place, and Ryan Reich is the current Bloodwood Bowl winner, and he is defending his title, currently leading the entire A division with 14 points. But behind him, he does have plenty of help on the offensive front. Catherine Murphy, 5 goals, 5 assists. Barrett Modi, 5 goals, 3 assists. So he does have plenty of help down the depth of the roster. Now for the Lock Monsters, it's been a season about their defense. They haven't had a whole lot of scoring, but that hasn't really mattered for them as they've had a goal differential of 0. An even amount of goals for and against. Their top points getter, Cody Grondin, with only 4 points, 2 goals, 2 assists. And there hasn't been a whole lot of scoring for this team. But again, it's been mostly their defense that's been the big contributor to help them get this far. But if they're gonna get any chance to try to give themselves in good position for the Carolina Cup, their offense definitely needs a big showing today. But with that being said, we're gonna go to the ball drop, and it's next. Officials for this game: Chris Salons at center, Brian Hooks on the boards. And yeah, we do not see Ryan Reich on the bench, so we're going to take it that he's not going to be able to participate, which is going to be a huge issue for their offense, but hopefully their depth scoring will step up and fill in the gap as we get underway in this A division matchup. Racing down over to Robin Jacques for the Empire. Turned it over to Hale, tied up by Modi. Both of them still trying to fight for it. It comes away. Backing up, back to the point to Stevens. Shot going wide. Jocks will play it up over to DeForge. But a good play by Chris Valley to at least try to keep the play alive. Does come across the center line. Stevens again, drop pass. Thought about shooting, crosses over to Hale. Wrist shot goes wide. Left corner again, covered by Modi. Centers up for Hale, and that one just swung wide. A couple of good chances, point blank by Hale. None of them hit the net though. Shot goes high and out of play.
Hey, one of you, come on.
So Lock Monsters already good on full throttle, only a minute into the game. Tie up goes to the Empire. Gian Greco takes a couple of looks, now tries to loft it, and will get it to DeForge. Shot going wide of the net. Catherine Murphy try to race it down, unable to get there. Off the boards, here comes Brunson. Partial break, shot and off the stick of Mark Kamoshi, his first save of the game. Tries to center up again for Brunton. He has really climbed the ranks. Who had started off in C division a few years ago and has now made his way up to A. Shot going wide of Ryan Schaffner. Brunton backhands it around. We'll have to give it up to Rich. Try to keep it in. Here they come the other way. So there's a shot in, it's stopped by Schaffner. Back to Rich, shot blocked. Brunton attempts to clear. can't get it out. Rich, here's some instructions from Gian Greco, and now back at the point. It's a shot through the screen and blocked by Frost. Frost trying to clear the zone, but it gives up to Catherine Murphy. Plays it back over to, turned it over to Frost, who attempts to clear, goes off the foot of a teammate, but does get it out. Here comes DiPiero, shot going wide from Grondin, and that goes out of play. The draw is going to occur outside the zone, and the Empire just now realized it. I think that would be a good thing for them. Won by the Empire. Attempted clear, fails. Back it goes. Tried to go for DiPiero again. DiGiacomo at the center line. He'll get away from Rich. Now face to face with the defenseman. Got blocked. Here comes Rich the other way. 2-on-2. Good block. Here comes Valley with a shot saved by Kamoshi and tips it up in the air and goes wide of the net. DiPiero with another look, and we'll turn it over to Jacques. DiGiacomo again on the right boards. Cycles along with Valley. Back of the point. Flap shot saved. Trying to go for a rebound attempt. DiPiero from the circle. Shot going wide. A lot of shot attempts by the Lock Monsters. Probably the most that we have seen this season. Remember, they came in with only 13 goals and are already putting a flurry on the net.
Whatever the rehab on the left.
Now, with Reich out of the lineup, the next one up, here's a shot, and that's blocked by Stevens. A turnaround shot, that's blocked. Shot coming from Modi. The next person up for the Empire would be Kathleen Murphy, who comes in at 10 points. Shot goes down the floor. Turning around for the Lock Monsters is Barrett. Excuse me, that is Kevin Ebner. There's a shot, and that's blocked. Frost pokes it away. Ebner centers up and tried to go for Brunton. He couldn't bat it. Brunton from the board. Slap shot is blocked. Back to Modi for the Empire. As they will try again with the entry. Turns it to a partial 2-on-1. Shot going wide of the net. DeForge taking a look. Well, just backhanded down in the left corner to Modi. He'll take it himself. Wide angle shot, rebound attempt! And it's in! It looks like it did enter the net, and the Empire just squeaks one through Shafter in a 1-0 lead. So the credit goes to Mike Robinson. So that's his second of the season, as that one will go all the way down for icing. So we were worried about, with the lack of Ryan Reich in the lineup, how the offense is going to be affected, but they haven't had that much possession time, but it hasn't mattered right now. And that's exactly what the Empire won, as that shot goes off of Kamoshi. That circles right behind the net. Jacques trying to get away from Cody Grondin. Here's DeForge, tries to pass to himself and turns it over to Valley. Takes a quick look. Trying to hang on to it is DiGiacomo. Go, Cat! Here's Catherine Murphy the other way. right corner, covered by Stevens. Tries to put one off the side of the net. Stevens will play it around to Grondin. He'll just cycle back around over to Valley. Again, the Log Monsters have been more about defense this season. And diving out is Schaffner, and we got a penalty coming up. We'll see. We're going to see who this is going to be called on, as everyone crashed into the boards. And it looks like Mike Rich is shaken up. There was one body right behind him. He's still on a knee. But chances are that this penalty will probably go against Log Monsters, but we're going to wait and see what the official call is. And Rich able to get back on his feet. And now we'll wait for Brian Hooks to make the call. It's going to be a double minor. Cody Grondin has been called for the double minor.
All right. Use some?
So the umpire will have 4 minutes of power play time. Won by the umpire. Back it goes as they will get their first strike at the power play, and a good long one at that. Murphy tried to handle it, went off her stick. Stevens will walk it up. He may be thinking shorthanded here. He slows up, hits the brakes, takes a poke check. But right now their focus should be to get their guy back on the floor. Frost doing his job, killing some more time, and now will slap it down the floor and steered away by Kamoshi. So from what I understand is that Grondin actually got one penalty, and from what I understand, Schaffner got the other penalty. So if I understand that correctly. We'll check with the score sheet just to be sure. But here's a shot in off the blocker of Schaffner. It'll be cleared down the floor again. A minute gone on this long power play. Stretch pass hits the mark. Wide angle shot. Save with a pad, cleared away by Frost. Hale will take it. Good poke check. Murphy crosses over to Modi on the right boards. Now back to Gian Greco. Returns to Modi. Right circle. Shot is blocked. Modi back to Gian Greco. Another return pass on the right boards. Centers try to go for Murphy and missed the mark. Left corner one more time. Back to the point. Thinking about it. Now goes to Gian Greco. Shot save. Schaffner, he'll hold on. Okay, so now we understand both penalties went to Schaffner. Very rare that a goalie gets a double minor. So Grondin only in the box just to serve those penalty minutes. But half of that penalty is gone now. Back to the point, Gian Greco. We'll take a shot, he scores! Howitzer from the blue line, Gian Greco. Wow, not bad. Wow. And with that, that's the second goal for Gian Greco this season. And Mike Rich just showed me the damage of the high stick. And let's just say some work needs to be done. DeForge Pokes it back to Modi. Try to set it up for Catherine Murphy, just over her stick. Josh Brigante will play it over to Frost. He'll play it up same side and it will be cleared away. Chasing it down is Ebner. Try to draw it back, taken away by Modi. Here's the Forge. Centers back to Modi, he was wide open. Shot save by Schaffner, juggling it, and it's cleared up to the center line. Crosses again, shot going high from the Forge. Now here's a one. Shots gone. No, that went wide. I was about to say, I have my words jumbled up, but the shot went wide and it's covered up. Well, the good news for Rich is that he's able to continue. And for the Log Monsters, the 4-minute penalty is over, back to full strength. Won by the Log Monsters. DiGiacomo will take it behind the net. We'll just wait for his team to get in position, and now we'll play around. And look out, here comes Rich. He's out with a vengeance. Shot save by Schaffner from DeForge. Cleared away over to Giangreco, glove down, taken away by DiPiero. From the right circle, shot saved by Kamoshi, cleared away, almost turned it over, but here they come, 2-on-1 the other way. Tries to get it around, good play by Valley. DiPiero will come up and play away for the Log Monsters by getting tied up with Rich. Center shot off the glove. As Rich will clear it away over to Stevens. Well, ever since Rich came back to the floor, he has been on fire. As we approach 30 seconds remaining, back over to Giangreco and now up to Rich. It will just tip it across the line. Last seconds of the period winding down. Stevens again, gets around Murphy, right circle, shot and not wide. Valley again, here's a call, thinks about it, now tries a wrist shot, glove, he scores! Cody Grandin with the rebound attempt, and in the late stages, tied the game up at 1. It's actually a 2-1 game. I completely forgot about the one goal that squeaked through. It's still a 2-1 game for the Evil Empire. Because I was so distracted by the Mike Rich injury. 5 seconds left. That's cleared over into the corner. That will do it for the period. A lot of scoring done. A bit of damage in 2 different ways, but the Empire do come out with a 2-1 lead after 1. We get ready for the second period.
I look ugly as hell now.
Oh, you gotta love that comment from Mike Rich. At least he's taking it in his stride after taking a bit of damage to the mouth from that high stick. And stick down by Frost. It was below the shoulder, so we continue. Ebner from a wide angle gets blocked. This will try to go up to Rich, blocked by Barbado. Getting tied up with Rich. I tell you, ever since the penalty, he has been out for blood. Shot, and that's blocked by Rich. Shot is blocked. Giangreco up to, intended for Murphy, taken away by Hale. Shot is off the stick and high. Looking for help, plays the cycle. Back to Frost at the point, tries to turn around, shot taken down by Murphy. Here is hell, wide open net, and he could not settle it down. Cleared away by Thistle. Frost recovers for the Lock Monsters. Shot! Oh! What did that hit the post? It'd certainly be Kamoshi, but no goal. I didn't hear any metal. What did that hit? But the umpire caught a lucky break. As Frost will take it behind his net, a minute and a half gone, up to Barbado. Taking a look as DiGiacomo starts to crash the net. But they will just push it back behind the line and they will reset. Valley backtracks and just about turned it over. As it's back at center. Here they come. Shot, save, and covered by Kamoshi.
Only one.
And DiGiacomo, I have noticed, has now switched to the forward position. He played on the defensive side in the first period, so it looks like the Lock Monsters have switched up their lines. Thistle over to the forge on the left boards, turns it over, shot, and that's blocked. And that is bounced over into the glove of Kamoshi, and he'll take a face-off. One by the Empire to Forge, dekes around one, he dekes around two. Only has one more to beat, shot, and that one just got Ryan Schaffner. Here's Rich. Shot, and that one just wide of the net. Brunton will stretch it up over to DiPiero. Trying to split the D. Still can't get through. Crosses and turns it over to Rich. Covered by DiGiacomo, but he'll get over to Catherine Murphy. Gains the line and almost had a break for DeForge, but a good stick by Brunton. Valley, and we're going to get a penalty here. It'll be against Robin Jock. He does not agree with the call, but he's going to be heading to the box.
Positional, don't chase.
As Schaffner heads to the bench for the extra attacker. Shot going high and touched up by Jocks. He does not agree with the call, but he's going to the box for high sticking.
Live by myself.
So the Lock Monsters will have our first power play of the game, down by one. And they're trying to determine who's going to take the face off.
Yeah, he is.
I'm good.
they're just making sure that they have their guy in the box, which they already did. Here's Grondin on the right circle. Placed back to Kevin Frost at the center line. Covered by Mike Rich, who has had fire in his eyes since the first period. That's up. Point blank, stopped, and covered up by Kamoshi. Now both of these goalies came in above a .920 save percentage, so they've had their fair share of shots. As that's cleared away by Modi, does make it across the line despite hitting the ceiling. It's something that they've got to adapt to, putting just enough loft to avoid the ceiling, otherwise it dramatically slows the speed of the shot. Grondin back over to Frost, slap shot blocked by Rich, and that's cleared down again. 50 seconds left on the power play. Stevens will take control. Does cross the line, but left into a dangerous area. Does come right back. Frost will take it back, and cross is intended for Grondin, but get some help.
Slow it down, slow it down.
Off the boards. Barbado on the right boards in front of the bench with 20 seconds left. Back over to Frost. Returns it back to Barbado. Still waiting. They're taking their time and looking for the lane. One time last save by Kamoshi! Yankee Diddle Dandy, what a reaction time! Somehow Kamoshi read that play perfectly.
Can you open it?
Pop her open a little bit and open up the door. All drops.
Hey, go straight out and tell the offense to move up.
And with that, that comes to a loud end for the penalty. Valley lobs one, glove down by Jan Greco. It was a very good power play for the Lock Monsters, but a great reaction time by Mark Kamoshi to keep this a 1-goal game. Back it goes, and off the boards. Looking for Barbado. Kamoshi comes out and turns it over to Barbado. One time. Oh, he could not get the one-timer off. It was wide open on the high slot as they will just get it across the line. Stevens backhands it up, but it ends up in the hands of Barrett Modi. Gian Greco cross it over the center line over to Rich. Along the right boards and down the floor halfway through the second period. Stretches, just got onside Barbado, but that pass was a little too hard to handle. Goes across and never got the shot off. Oh man, Lock Monster is just not having any luck with those wide angle one-timers.
Hey, still 2-1, guys. That's a good one.
Goes up over to DiGiacomo on the left boards. Lock Monsters have had plenty of possession time this game. Crosses and off the stick of Frost and they go out of play.
Hey, my bad, Jake. Bad Jake. Bad Jake.
Toss up, it'll just go to the Evil Empire. Off the boards to Murphy, tries to get around Brigante, but he cannot beat Robinson, who puts a shot on net and easily stopped by Ryan Schaffner. Oh, that one almost snuck behind, but it went behind the net actually. Murphy tries to center up, and off the stick of Schaffner, who has to hold on for control. It bubbled around his pads for a moment, but he does cover for the face-off. Won by the Empire, DeForge. Going the aggressive route. Now tries to center up, intended it for Modi, but never got to him. Back it goes, with a shot from Thistle goes wide. DeForge turns it over, here comes Hale. Only has Jocks to beat. Hits the brakes. Was intending on a shot, but DeForge on the back check ends that attack. Here's a 2-on-1 the other way. Murphy crosses to Modi. Shot saved by Schaffner. Centers up again. No black jerseys there to take it. Here's Brunson. Tries to get around. Does get around everybody, but could not handle the ball. Thistle, with a couple of poke checks, gets it away to the opposite corner. Hale centers up, off a body. Here's DeForge, only has one to beat. Turns to a breakaway. DeForge, shot, save by Schaffner with the shoulder. He's been looking for a lot more of those. But here's Grondin, shot save by Kamoshi. It has suddenly turned into a goaltending duel. as Kamoshi covers that one up. Quality chances on both ends of the floor today.
This one's big. Same thing. Looks thick, like it's in here. Elbow, both times.
Tie up, goes the Lock Monster, shot off a stick. From behind the net, getting tied up was Gian Greco. Shot goes off of a body behind the net. Circling around, backhand attempt, and that's stopped by Kamoshi. That was quite a swing by Tony DiGiacomo. Gian Greco crosses to Thistle. Looking at Grondin, now we'll chip it up over to Robinson. Gets it to himself, but it's swatted away by DiGiacomo. Valley will play left over to Stevens. Less than 3 remaining in the period. Turns it over to Gian Greco. Passes left over to Rich. We'll give a return to the right boards. Holds up on the shot, drawing a defender. Sweep check, shot is blocked. Still loose, shot, score! That's 3-0! Gets her 6th goal on the one-timer and a 2-goal lead for the Empire. That was a never-die attitude by the Empire, just digging in. And then that rebound placed on the right area for Murphy to put the rebound in. It will go to the Lock Monsters. Here's Brunton. Shot, and that one just glanced off the post. Another attempt, and that one goes off of Jocks, off the back of the net and covered by Kamoshi. As we approach 1.5 minutes left, the Lock Monsters have had plenty of chances at the net, but this is just one of those games where you do a lot right, but it just doesn't produce any results. As they'll come back to the center line, Frost will keep it in, but not for long. DeForge has it for the Empire. It turns into a 3-on-1 off a body. Look out, and well, the whistle had already blown. It was under Schaffner, who will hold on. This is just one of those days for the Lock Monsters. As it will be played back to Brigante for the Lock Monsters. Frost stretches to Ebner. A play left off the official, but does get to Brunton. Shot is stopped by Kamoshi with the blocker. Chipped in, and with 35 seconds left, time for another rush for the Lock Monsters. Brigante will tread it up. Thinking about it, now we'll pass left over to Brunton. Tries to play it forward, but it got stick down. Here's Robinson from the circle, shot going wide. Pops out in front of him, but it cleared away. They only have time for one more attempt. As Brunton does deke around from the nice circle shot. Oh my goodness, went off the Andrew Brunton has a shine of luck on his side and brings it back within 1. With 6 seconds left, not going to be enough time for another shot, but a stroke of luck for Andrew Brunton. Just kept this within a 1-goal game, so the Lock Monsters do have some hope, but they still have some work to do. 3-2 Empire after 2.
Wade got suckered there.
Third third period just about underway, and Ryan Reich has returned, but he is not in uniform, so we can pretty much say that he is not going to be in the game, so we can confirm that for sure. But so far the Empire have held up on their own. But here come the Lock Monsters, and that one goes off the side of the net and covered up by Kamoshi. Won by the Empire. Thistle tries to push it up, but it went off a foot. It may have gone off our official, but they do clear it out anyway. Stevens holds up, and now we'll pass forward over to Hale. Poke check, here comes Catherine Murphy. Tries to pass right, intercepted by Stevens, who will just push it up over to DiGiacomo for the Lock Monsters on the right boards. Minute gone in the third period. Shot going wide at the net. DiPiero on the left corner. Looking for a lane. There's a lot of traffic out in front. Tries to push one up, and that one is steered away. Tracking it down as Hale. He does keep it in. DiGiacomo on the right corner again. Still waiting for a lane, and off of Thistle. Trying to keep it in. Good slide and stick by DiGiacomo to keep that in. Tries to center up. Off the Thistle. Tries to clear it. Shot going wide. Rebound attempt. Can't get it on. DiGiacomo. A lot of traffic. Trying to look for a lane. Shot, and that one hit a stick on the way. There was just too much traffic. Here's DiPiero. And pushed up on the boards by Jocks. Modi digging in as well. And the Empire come away. At least for a moment. Went off a body. DiPiero again. Moving in is DiGiacomo, as that will be chipped over to the corner. Thistle will just clear it away. Down the floor. Will it be enough for an icing? Yes, it will. Tony.
What's wrong?
And back to Thistle for the Empire. Went off the back of the Forge. And it'll turn into a turnover. The Lock Monsters hang on. Frost over to Barbado. Giangreco will take it for the Empire. Up over to Robinson. Chips it up to himself, but a little too far. Brigante will push it right back to Forge again. From the right boards, drop pass to Robinson. Centers up. Shot, and that one goes high of the net. Grondin for the Lock Monsters. Attempted clear fails, kept in by Giangreco. Murphy with a shot just going wide. She already has one for the game. Barbado for the Lock Monsters, left side. Holds up, circles, and now we'll just chip it in. Grondin in a race with DeForge. DeForge wins that race, but can't get any help. He does slot it, but not enough to clear. He'll have to try again. Off the boards again. Stick lift. Was it in? They say it's still in.
Same shit I'm watching? Yeah, right.
But they do clear it out anyway. Brigante up over to Frost. Just plays it off the end boards. And Kamoshi wisely covers up as he saw Grondin on approach. Tie up by DiGiacomo. Turnaround shot blocked by Jocks. He'll play it over to Mike Rich. Left to the Forge on the left boards. Good play by Valley to keep it in. Plays right to DiGiacomo. Tries center up off of A body shot, save by Kamoshi off the shot from DiPiero. The Log Monsters keep forcing those turnovers in the offensive zone. Again, the Log Monsters have been trying everything they can, but here comes Rich on a breakaway. Oh, got a good poke check from Stevens. A good hustle to break that play up. DiPiero covered by Greco, who tried a sweep check. Plays over to Brunton. Shot going high at the net. DeForge trying to slide it out, but a shot by Giacomo does not hit its target. Behind the net again, diving across. Everyone trying to look for control. It comes out over to Robinson. But a good poke check by Valley on the back check. Robinson recovers and will play, intended to play it to DeForge. But once again, Valley trying to keep the attack alive. Rushing in is Hale. Again, the back check doing its work. They just need to try to translate it on the offense. Here's Robinson the other way on a 2-0. Gerald score! Mike Robinson with his second of the game, converting to 2-0.
Level up, so level up.
Won by the Empire, and now 7 minutes remaining, and the pressure is now on for the Log Monsters. And oh, I don't know if Schaffner knew that there was an icing coming, but he covers up, and so now he'll have to take a face off in his own zone. Won by the Empire. Murphy on the left point, trying to shake off Ebner. Play up over to Modi. They haven't had much possession time, but they've made those shots count. Murphy will play it along over to Rich. Turns it over to Frost behind the net. Up to Barbado left wing. Just avoids Greco, but they were called offside. Won by the Log Monsters. Just in front of the center line. Tries to go for Barbado. Good poke check back. Here comes Ebner. Shot, and now that's off the stick of Jocks. Barbado in the left corner trying to fight off Jocks. Ebner trying to fight through, but it will be cleared away by Thistle. It's down the floor, but is it going to be an icing? Just from the side of Schaffner, it will come back. And plays it back over to Stevens. Slap shot, and that's stopped by Kamoshi. Left corner. Gets it away, back to Barbado. Shot, save Kamoshi. He'll hold on with less than 5 remaining. Tie up on the draw. Taken away by Murphy, and does clear down the floor, and just enough to avoid icing. Valley off the boards, rushing in as Jocks. He has really come into play into the late stages of the game, as he's pinning everyone up on the boards. DeForge tries to pass to himself. You see Valley giving directions to his partner, Stevens, as he tries to pass and missed everybody. Barbado the other way.
man.
Here's a shot and just sticked away by Jocks. An open net and never got the shot. Giangreco plays off the boards, gets to the forge, who will just clear it up over to Murphy. Stevens holds it back as the Lock Monsters go on a partial change. Valley from his own circle just hits the net as Giangreco just pushes it back down. Stevens again centers over to Grondin. 3.5 remaining. Puts it into the corner. DiPiero. Back to Stevens at the point. He'll try a wrist shot that's blocked. Trying to recover as Grondin poked away by Robinson. Modi tries to throw on the Jets. Good puck. Oh my goodness! It rolled through! Barrett Modi is going to get credit for this one as that one just snuck through Schaffner. And not surprisingly, the Lock Monsters are going to call timeout. But a lot of the chances by the Empire have been on odd-man rushes, and they just converted another one right there. So, like I said, the Lock Monsters, plenty of possession time. They've done everything right.
Right there. Just hold your hand up to that.
But this has just been a season where they've been snake bitten. They've done a lot of stuff right. As the officials are still trying to figure out the scoring. But I'm pretty sure that with Modi. But it's been that kind of story for the Lock Monsters. They're doing a lot of things right. The results are just not coming to them today. But there's still time for them to come back. But it's a long ways to go, and they're really going to have to push. Grondin plays out to Barbado. For now, they're going to keep Schaffner in the net, if they're even going to intend on pulling him. As Modi will just push it down the floor. No ice here as Grondin will take control. Thinks about it, now plays off the boards and will find Ebner trying to shake off Giangreco. He'll hold it to the left corner. Frost, he's playing really deep out of his usual position. Now it goes back to Ebner on the high circles. I'll just throw it to the left corner. DiPiero again trying to fight off Rich. Barbado on the high slot trying to get through a couple of black jerseys. He'll recover it. Backhand goes wide of the net. Well, it looks like they're trying as hard as they can. Robinson back over to Rich, who will throw it to the left corner. This back for the Lock Monsters, try to pass it back, turned it over to Modi, who will just push it down the floor. It will be an icing. The clock continues to run, but it does not look like the Lock Monsters are going to intend on pulling Schaffner. At least I don't believe they are. They would have done so by now. So if that's the case, the Empire will get another win on their record, and it would keep them in first place. It would get them their 4th win of the season. They came into this game with 3 wins and 2 draws. Kamoshi hanging on, so they do not, well, they're technically undefeated,
You had to have a jaw wire.
Okay, it's down the floor.
You just say you had to come back with
30 seconds left. The Lock Monsters are going to try at least one more time, and then that's going to go down for icing. The clock stops at 22 seconds, but at this point, it's looking like the Empire are going to come away with a win. And like I said, it's not a perfect season, but it's technically an undefeated season. Tie up on the draw, as everything here is pretty much academical now. Trying to break through is Stevens with 14 seconds left. He's going to has at least one more attempt to try to make this a more respectable score. 5 seconds left, holds on, centers up, backhand, he scores! He does do it! It's a little too late, but it will bring it to 2 goals. It's not gonna matter, but it'll at least have the Lock Monsters end on a strong note. It's something that they've been working all game, but it just was not to be, as the Empire come out with win number 4. And they will improve to 10 points, 5 points ahead of both the Lock Monsters. Well, they're now 4 points ahead of the Big Hawks because they came out with an overtime loss earlier today. But yeah, this was just a game where everything was done by the book, but it just was not going to be the game for the Lock Monsters. So we'll be back with a wrap-up. We were looking to see if the Evil Empire were going to be able to fill that gap left in the offense with the absence of Ryan Reich, and boy did they. Mark Robinson, with his best game so far, 2 goals, has definitely helped out with the team. And with the team this battered and bruised, with 2 facial injuries for that matter, they've been able to push through and come out with yet another win under their belt. Again, Lock Monsters, they did a lot right. They had a lot of possession time. They had plenty of shots on net, but this was just one of those days where sometimes it's just not your day. So that's it for us today. We'll be back with another game for you. Until then, this is Daniel Wilson. We'll see you next time around.